Hey y'all, how are you? Welcome back. Um, yeah. So the title of the video today is a lot of women always ask me, do I have to play a game? Do I have to be truthful? Do I have to be honest? What if I was honest with them and they always play games? And a lot of things about honesty comes up when a relationship is either ending or starting. Um, and so many people don't want to be in relationships because they cannot deal with liars or people that are dishonest. And that is very, very true. And that is part of the reason why I had to start this channel in the first place, y'all, because too many people are not being honest. And usually when people come into a new relationship or dating, they usually want to be honest if they have good intentions. If they don't, then they don't want to be honest from start. And so we know this, right? And so when you ever have people that are very dishonest with you, you got to understand, they may want to be in a relationship, but they may not want. Sasha keeps texting me something funny. They may not want to give you all the details, and we know this. So when you know this, Sprinkle, thank you for oh my gosh, Sasha keeps texting me. She's so crazy. Anyway, so yeah, and also and then they bring all these people in your life that you don't really want in your life, and then when they bring a lot of people in your life and they were dishonest about who they were and things like that, and now you have to deal with these people that you don't really want to deal with, even though they pretend that you're a friend and all that kind of stuff. And the truth and the honesty is you're only dealing with them for one reason. And the reason that you deal with certain people is because you know how to get through them and to the main truth of the whole matter. You can see everything unfold through certain people's. Okay. So when you see certain people that deal with other people or the people that were dishonest with you, the mystery kind of unfolds and you get all this interesting knowledge that was not revealed before. So that's kind of the only reason I do live with a lot of energies and people that I don't like in my comments. That's why I don't delete trolls, because I can always go back and see who's who, always. And you can never, do that if you keep deleting everybody. Or you can never do that if you can never go back and see who's saying this and who's saying that. So always keep in mind, make sure you do that with your own relationships. Don't be mad if someone is in that person's life. Make notes of them, study them, see who they are, see what they represent, who are they connected to, A, B, C, and D. And the reason why you should do this is because you never know. Always do that. Okay. And pay attention to detail. Detail is something that most people overlook all the time. All the time. So details are muy, muy importante. Very important. And for the sake of this, I'm going to have to apologize to you guys, or I'm going to have to say I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be reading any more, donation. So thank you for the donation. Appreciate that, but I'm not reading anymore because a lot of it is just double talk that I'm not doing anymore. Okay, so thank you though. I appreciate that so much. But at the same time, if it's not for good intention, if it's not for any good reason, then I take that back. Okay. Now, another thing is you don't have to donate, but if you want to, I'm still not reading your thing. That's just where I am today, because so many people are sending like weird worded messages that don't make any sense to me anyway. So, y'all, if you feel like you want to read them in the comments, feel free to. I don't mind. Okay, so if you're dishonest with someone when you first begin a relationship or anything, don't ever expect it to turn out how you thought it would. Now, if you're a woman and you're only being dishonest because they were dishonest first, then let the games begin. Because that's kind of our defense. We don't go in there offensive. We go in there defensive. And that's how most women go into relationships, on the defense. Always. Women always go into relationships on the defense because they have to. They don't have a choice. And if they did, they wouldn't, they would choose not to. But they obviously don't have a choice. Okay. You said you learning to lie. So, well, I would never go into anything lying unless I knew the person was a liar. But I definitely do recommend lying if you know you're being lied to, for sure. Or if that person is going to treat you a certain way because they are lying about who they are and their intentions. So you might as well just join the game until, somebody is like, okay, well, I should have came at you correct or whatever. But until then, get what you can get. That's what I always tell women, men don't come up to you to marry you. Men don't come up to you to give you everything you desire or want or need. They come up to you for one thing. So, but women don't go up to men for those reasons. They go up for genuine, good reasons, but men go up to women for bad reasons. So let's just face that. We know that now. Everybody knows that. And if you don't, you've been sleeping under a rock or something. I don't know. So now that we know that, we have to realize that, do we even want to be in a relationship, or do we just want to date? Do we want to do this, or do we want to do that? So depending on whatever you want to do, keep in mind that if the intentions are not good, then make sure you're at least getting whatever you need out of the situation. Don't stay there and pretend like they're good when they're not. Okay. So thank y'all for everybody who are the green member, little highlighted word. Yeah. Yep. And anybody who's involved with any of those people, like, that's not my fault. Anybody who are involved with, people that have bad intentions, not my fault, not your fault, not anybody's fault. You don't know what they're doing to other people. Like, you ever had like a brother-in-law or like a sister-in-law who married someone and did them very bad, and you may have become friends with their spouse or whatever, but since you're in their family, you got to choose sides or whatnot. Sometimes the side that you choose may be the wrong side, but you feel loyalty or obligated to choose that side, and that's perfectly fine. Most people don't care, because when they part ways and separate, they don't take them friends anyway. They're like, okay, you came with them, you leave with them, bye. And I wouldn't want somebody running in between anyway, So if I were to ever get some type of, friendship that was like on one side as well as the other, I would ditch the whole friendship. Bye. Gotta go. Because I don't want to have to deal with people going in between. And so neither should you guys. Like, if y'all have ever been in a situation like that, ditch all the friends and start over. Why? Because that's the best way. Now, I'm not saying all those friends are bad. I'm just saying it's best for everyone involved. Hmm. It's best for everyone involved because you don't want messages being sent through this person or that person when you don't even want to try to get the messages yourself. Like, I don't care. Look, I don't care. You know how like you'll have an ex-boyfriend and you'll have a mutual friend and they'll start telling you about the ex-boyfriend. Well, I saw such and such the other day. So, and what? Your eyes still work? Wonderful. you know. Um, or I heard that such and such was doing this. Oh, really? Your ears still work too? Wonderful. You know, I don't, you're not supposed to care. And even like when I tell you guys before I even got married, I don't remember any of my ex-boyfriends' names. Don't even remember. Don't even know what they're doing right now. Don't care. Some of them not even here anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like literally. Because that's how I do. I just gotta go. When I'm done, I'm done. That's I think R. Kelly made a song called When a Woman's Fed Up or something like that. So, that's the truth. When you done, you done. Most people don't go back when they absolutely done. When they are just completely finished. Why? Because sometimes you get like, oh, okay, well, that was interesting. That was fun, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. So what reason do I have to go to, what reason do I need to think about it anymore? Let's see what's next. Like the Drake song, what's next? And whatever's next has to be better or more exciting or, lucrative or whatever. Something got to go harder next. And that's why you keep moving forward and moving on. So, yeah, I don't forgive people. I just forget them. Like this. There's a difference. I don't need to forgive. I just need to forget. You know. And when I forget, it's not that I haven't learned a lesson. I just forget it because there's no need to remember it unless the lesson is needing to be remembered. Not the person, but the actual lesson. Okay. So you always remember the lesson, but always forget the person. The person and the lesson are two different things. So that's what y'all have to realize when y'all are trying to move forward in your lives. All right. And everybody who's donating, gracias. And I'm not reading them, but y'all can read them in the comments. I'm just trying to concentrate on the message today. So appreciate that. Oh. And whoever is not, whoever's not okay with my messages, I'm sorry. Just maybe find someone else that can give you better messages. I'm going to remain who I am, who I always been, and what I gotta be. Okay. Sorry. Like some people just don't need my advice because they're not going to follow it anyway. So hopefully y'all are to that point. Well, some of y'all are, but some of y'all aren't. Y'all learning and y'all are implementing a lot of things on your ends, like whatever y'all are doing. And I think that's very necessary in this day and age to know that, a lot of women, they're looked at as, well, you're supposed to be the good person. You're supposed to be the one who cares. No, you're not. No, you're not. That's what someone wrote for you. That's what someone said you were supposed to be. Who said that? Who wrote that? Who told you that? I didn't tell you that. You're supposed to be whatever you choose to be, just like anyone else. Just like they say any man can do whatever they want to do, so can any woman. Oh, remember a long time ago when men always claim, y'all were fighting for equal rights, now you're equal. Okay, we equal now. Y'all always want to throw that in women's face. Okay, we equal now. We don't care either. Bye. We'll lie like you lie. We'll walk away like you walk away. We don't care either. Right? So sometimes you have to realize, how you treat women is how women are eventually going to start treating you. You lie to women, women going to start off lying to you. That's just a mirror. Man in the mirror, woman in the mirror, So whatever you do, remember and it's not that it's a bad thing if you do good. If you come in with good intentions, then that's usually what happens. You get good back. You come in with bad intentions, you're gonna get bad back. That's all it is. If you come in there with mixed messages, you're gonna be confused when you leave. Sometimes people just want to do things the normal way, and sometimes people want to complicate it. So it is what it is. So if you're one of those people that like to complicate everything and throw a lot of confusion in everything, then maybe you like that. Some people live off that and thrive off that. They like it. It helps them, live an exciting life. Some people don't like that. Some people just like how they were and they wanted a little added bonus. But, sometimes that little added bonus is not worth the hassle. It ain't worth it. So, I appreciate everybody that's being nice, but like I said, I can't read anyone's messages. First of all, if I don't know you from a long time on my channel, I'm not reading your messages, right? Because some of them are not something that I can even understand, because some of y'all are writing in weird sentences. So get your Google Translate correct. I don't know. But definitely do that. So I'm just writing on my little board here. I don't know. I mean, I'm not fit to talk about weirdos anymore. Y'all can listen, but I'm not reading those comments. So if you want to send money just to send it, great. But I ain't finna read them weirdo comments. Not until they start making practical sense. Okay. Y'all have a good old day with it. I'm looking at my bookshelf. I got like all these. I just need to organize a little. Look like somebody had been in here playing around. Probably the kids. Anyway. So remember this. I'm not playing any okey doke games with people anymore. When you shut someone out of your life, they need to stay shut out. If they want to come back, they know if they want to come back, they got to do a lot, and I don't think they'll be able to do any of those things, because how I always say, like, if your ex wants you back, or somebody that goes to you wants you back, they gotta do a lot. They gotta earn you back. They gotta spend some real money. They gotta put in that effort. They gotta make that call. They gotta do all of that stuff. And a lot of men aren't really willing to do that. So yes, they'd rather be stuck out, or not with the person that they want to be with, because they don't want to do that. So I'm moving on to the next, or waiting and seeing what else is out there, doing my thing and getting my money till something better comes along. But at this point, it doesn't even matter. That's what you got to think. Like, it doesn't matter. If they like you, somebody else don't like you. And then if you can say, oh, I didn't want them no more, I had to leave them alone, and they're supposed to be all that, well, that says a lot about you now, doesn't it? And so the next person will be like, dang, they're gonna be looking at you like Erykah Badu. Okay. So, if you want to increase your own value as a woman, leave them fools alone. You can get them, you can get another one. If they want you that bad, you'll know. Believe me, directly. If you don't know, then I don't know what to tell you. If they don't come correct, then they shouldn't come at all. So don't be mad at the man. Don't be mad at yourself. Just, what are the actions? What are your actions? The actions say they don't care. So why should you? And when your daughters and sons grow up and they're like having the same issues with their little high school boyfriends or college boyfriends or whoever, or just boyfriends in general, you could teach them the lesson. But they're probably gonna have to learn it themselves. But you can give them some tips and stuff like that, how to deal with it and how to keep busy and how to do other things, even though they may think about it. They never follow through on those thoughts because the guys have the same exact thoughts. But if they ain't following through, you ain't either. Right? Don't follow through if they haven't followed through. Um, so makes me think about that song, Michael Jackson song, "She's Out of My Life." Damned indecision and cursed pride. Well, it also reminds me. Oh, it was a good song though. It's a good song, a decent song. Didn't. I don't think it got to number one, but it's okay. So you said let another woman come fill those Skechers. Well, I'm sure there's many women waiting for someone who's, there's always people waiting on the leftovers or whatnot, and that's fine. Mhm. That's good. Do you do? I do everything. I do whatever I feel like I need to do. Like, because sometimes, um, whatever you say you can do or whatever you do, it affects people differently. So it doesn't. I mean, whatever is beneficial for you, that's what you should be doing. I got this cup this is a Halloween cup, but I still drink out of it because it's so big and I like it. It holds a lot. You said there's so many old women that haven't learned this. Yeah, I think back in the day though, women were not as, I don't know. I don't know what you would even call it, but I guess they cared more than most women do these days. And it's not that women don't care, it's just that they can't care. There's a difference. It's not that you don't care, it's that you cannot care. And I don't know how to make that make sense, but you can care, but you cannot, which means if you start to care, then you start the cycle back over again. So you cannot care. If you care, you care, in the past. Leave your caring in the past and care for yourself. There you go. I cared. Ed. I cared. There you go. That's where the care go. Now I care about me. If you don't care about me, then at least I cared about you. And so either way, we about to slide. So you appreciate, and a lot of men will say, "Oh, I love you," like as soon as they meet you, or they'll treat you a certain way. But that's just not true because you don't know me, or you don't know this lady, or you don't know this man, or you don't know this person. You don't know them. So why are you lying to them? Oh, just so I could get what I want. Oh, well, then what do you want? Well, I can't tell you, but we already know what you want. Oh, well, then if you know, then okay. And so we've already planned ahead because we know what you want, baby. It's not even a trick anymore. It's just we already know. How's it gonna be a trick when we already know? It's like going around on Halloween and knocking on people's door and saying trick or treat. But you know they got candy. You know they ain't gonna say trick. Oh, I think I want a trick. Them kids gonna be looking at you like, huh? A trick? Where my candy? Why? Because they already know the deal. Y'all might as well say treat and leave the trick off. Treat. Because some games are too old to be played over and over and over and over and over with people not catching on. So maybe sometimes, even if you don't know the game, it's still too obvious. Even if you don't even know half the rules of the game, it's still too obvious at one point. It's like, okay, we know what's going on. So you may be clueless, but you still know what's really going on. You may be like, oh, I don't know what they're doing over there, but it don't look right. Or I don't know what they're doing over there, but it seems wrong. I don't know what they're doing over there, but I ain't gonna be a part of it. Period. So sometimes you got to remember, it's not about being kind or nice. It's about looking out for yourself, because ain't nobody else gonna do it for you. And if they are, thank them when you find out who they really are. And then, because you can't do it while everything is still, in the process of breaking up, or, moving forward, or doing something new. So you got to wait till later, because sometimes you don't know. And later is always better anyway, because people can benefit more from it then anyway. hmm You have to keep your own best interest. That's right. Got to keep your own best interest, because no one else does. Who else got your own best interest besides yourself? I don't think anyone does. Um, and let me tell y'all honestly, I only think a woman can love another person as much or as more as she can for herself. So I would never expect it to ever come from a man or someone that, is trying to be a man, or any type of anything. Like I would never expect it from them. I would never, ever bet my life on a male, masculine man to put anybody before his own best interest, unless he's been super brainwashed to do so. So got to make sure that you look out for self. You said best way to deal with liars is the best way to deal with a liar is to tell yourself the truth over and over. Because I'm going to tell you why. The best way to deal with a liar is to tell yourself the truth. That's it. Because the more you know the truth, the more you see the lie. The more you know the truth, the more you see the lie. The more you know the truth, the more you see the lie. You don't have to you ain't got to go around talking and that just brings in more people to start more mess. All you got to do is know your truth, and their lies will stand out. That's it. Okay. You said just knowing you're dealing with a liar. Well, when you first approach anybody, well, this is sad to say, but anybody that's a man, you approaching a liar first and foremost, especially if it's in a social setting, if they have, if they're, I'm sorry, it's just the truth. You approaching a straight man, or a straight man is approaching you, you already know between 1 and 5 minutes a lie is coming. Period. I'm sorry, a lie is coming. You can set your clock to it. Between 1 and 5 minutes of meeting any man, a lie is coming. Now, with the woman, women are so sweet and gullible, and they're trained to be honest and all these things. So between 1 and 5 minutes, you might not even get a lie. You might get too much truth, or too much information or too much knowledge so you know what to do in order to keep lying to them. You might get that, but I guarantee you, 1 to 5 minutes from speaking to a man, you got some lies, baby. So, what you gonna do with them lies? Okay. You gonna believe them, take them in for truth, or you gonna pretend to believe them? I always say pretend to believe them. Hey. And if you believe some of them, and because they were, lies that you weren't paying attention to, well, they'll surface sooner or later anyway. It's like, okay, well, oops, well, oh well, good thing I put these other things in place. So, the sad thing is people don't have to lie to you. Women are usually going to give you more than you would give them as far as honesty in the beginning, just so they can see what you're about. And not like some fake hidden honesty, but some literal honesty. I have to teach women to stop doing that because they're literally too damn honest. They will come out and tell you their whole life story in the first 5 minutes with everything bad included. And so now you have just this whole super honest story of the person. And now what you gonna do with this as a liar, as a man? What are you gonna do with all this? You gave your truth and honesty to someone that had bad intentions for you. What you gonna do with that? So you gotta know who you dealing with when you deal with them. As soon as you walk up, if it's a man, between 1 to 5 minutes, lies are coming. If it's a woman, she might be honest unless she done ran into too many liars. If she ran into too many liars, or AKA too many men, it is what it is. It is best to be quiet and listen and observe the lies. So you know when you hear them later on. But at the end, everybody is gonna have the best, the best outcome because they learn their lesson and they don't repeat. Did James ever lie to me? All the time. Shoot. James lied to me on the first day I met him. Just like I said, most men are gonna lie. Everybody's gonna lie to you. They're gonna lie to you about how much money they got, where they live, what they do for a living, who they know, all this. They're gonna lie. Like, I do this, they're gonna lie. Everybody lies. You see a scam to save your life. You said liars usually win. Yeah, but women are usually better liars than men. You gotta think about that. When a woman learns how to lie, because she knows how to tell the truth with so much detail. Imagine it when she learns how to lie. Ooh, it's over there. If a woman can straight up tell the truth in the first 5 minutes of meeting you with details that you didn't even ask for, imagine it when she learns how to lie. And she don't want to lie. She just have to. Mhm. That's right. She don't want to lie. She gotta lie because some people are crazy. And some people have bad intentions. And some people want to take advantage. And some people want to take things. But at the same time, be careful what you take. Be careful who you lie to. And be careful about your intentions. Because one day you're going to meet the wrong one who you think is the right one. And it ain't going to be that one. So you watch out. Y'all remember that movie? No, I was seeing it. I was looking at it last night, but the movies never end correctly. It's time to rewrite the movie. They always end the movie the wrong way. They don't want to see it, so they don't put it out there. But movies reflect real life. So until somebody creates the scenario to create the ending to the movie that they want to see, that's what's we're gonna keep seeing the repeat of. You said don't tell our secrets. All right. Nobody tells secrets. Mhm. And it's not because, okay, and here's the thing, it's not because the person wanted to do any harm to anyone. It's just they were put in a bad position and they didn't have a choice. Sometimes people are just trying to, have a decent life, and then other people come and interfere and try to do things and lie to you. You ever saw somebody in a relationship that their life was going pretty good, and then they meet this person, and then it starts going like looking crazy and stuff? It's the person. They gotta go. Reminds me of that Erykah Badu song, Tyrone. She was tired of Tyrone. She said he gotta go. He need to take his friends and call his friends to come pick him up. Or Tyrone had to come pick him up. He said, you need to call Tyrone and tell him come on, help you get your stuff. Okay. Because she said y'all was done. She was tired of to whoever it was. But you know, you know how Erykah Badu is. She's a Pisces. She's like, I don't care. She tried to reason with him. She asked him some questions, but nobody answered. Remember what she said? Why can't we be by ourselves sometimes? He always got to bring his friends and pay for them. And I was look, bye. She had to drop that. She said, and then still people lined up to come see what Erykah Badu was all about. You had Carmen, J Electronica, 3000. I don't know who else. You said Drake. She was dealing with Drake. Oh yeah, you used to call me on my cellular device. And I know when the hotline bling. They said she was chasing Andre. That's why he had to make that song, I'm Sorry, Miss Jackson. You seen what they was doing. They was on the rooftop trying to fix the roof, but it was still leaking. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Y'all don't remember that part? You like Erykah Badu? You said Kendrick. Dang, she be going through 'em. She's still the winner. Do y'all remember her on that movie? She was the psychic lady on with Taraji P. Henson. Was that song? Men, what about think? What? How do men think, or something like that? I forgot the name of that movie. Where she like bumped her head. Taraji bumped her head, and she could hear men's thoughts. Oh, what men like? All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's the movie. She was like the best character in that whole movie. Like she was the funniest one. Yeah. What women want. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Um. You just watched that? Oh my goodness, that movie is like. Even though her role was not throughout the movie, her effect played out throughout that entire movie through Taraji P. You know why? Because someone asked her the right question. Why you bring Jim, James, Paul, and Tyrone? That's funny. Just believe in yourself. That's what I always say. Just believe in yourself. Remember when she was pulling out those tarot cards and she dropped the Uno card on there? She said, "Ooh, how did I get?" That y'all got to see that movie. Hmm. And she had a salon. Yeah, she worked in the back of the salon. Um, and the funny thing is, like, she's not even like an actress, but you could never tell because she's so perfect for that role. Hmm. But anyway, always and when her kids would call her on the phone, like interrupt her, and she just tell them some crazy stuff. If you got to watch the movie all the way to the end because like she has more scenes. Okay, she was a character there. I don't think that movie would have even been good without her. It would have just been blah. All right. Mm-hmm. Right, right, right. Yes. So do y'all have any legitimate literal questions or will I have to keep ignoring? Mm-hmm. Well, we'll continue to keep ignoring until I get literal questions. So, just like I will continue to keep ignoring until I get literal connection to, like people that really want to reach out or say something or send a message. I'm not going to respond to anything unless it's literal. Mhm. Mhm. Mm, 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 mm. mm, 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 mm. How to make a man show his real feelings if he is in denial? Some of them won't. You can't make a man do nothing. They gotta want to do it. Like I'm saying, if they don't do it, they don't want to do it. Let me ask a ladies. Let me ask the ladies a question. If you knew someone and you wanted to contact them, you had all the contact information, wouldn't you contact them? If you needed to, okay then. There you go. Some people not playing them okey doke games. They're not doing all of that stuff. You know how to directly get in touch with people. Then directly get in touch, baby. If you can't, then oh well. That's how it's always been. Always, never changed. Never changed. I mean, it could get worse. It could be like, our phone call ain't even good enough. It could get, it could be like that. But people are, since there's technology now, people are more lenient. Back in the old days, you had to come in person or write a physical letter, send a telegram. It took a lot of effort back in the old days. Now all you got to do is clickety clack on a phone or push a button. People think it's like, oh my god, it's so hard. Like your ex, or your, even if you manage your current, whoever it is, and they try to give you the silent treatment, or I can't do it because then she's gonna win. Okay, well then, if I don't win, we both lose. Cause you okay, but I don't lose because obviously I can call myself. Got 2 phones. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said clean house. No, there ain't no rules. The rules are whoever's rules that they're dealing with. Right? People trying to keep putting rules out. No, this is what you got to do for. No, that's y'all rules. Remember, whoever it is, that's their rules. Whoever it's not, that ain't their rules. How much do you reveal in a new relationship? As much as they reveal that you can check out, that you can verify from 3 different sources. And if those sources are only online, they don't count. Because anybody can type anything, believe. You said 3 sources. Yeah, come on. Let me see some 3 sources, and they all can't be online. My mom used to say, talk to their ex-girlfriend or talk to their ex-wife to figure it out. And that's so true. And that's what I used to tell women. Like, whenever they have a problem with their man, who's their ex? Go look around over there. Go see what they doing over there. And go see how they feel. Go see what they doing. Go see da da da. Because usually that's who's gonna have your answers. Don't go talking to the actual person. Don't go talking to the actual, current one standing in line for your position. Go talk to the ex, or go observe the ex, or go observe whoever they dealt with last, and you'll see. You said I should work as a spy? Shoot. I told you I don't like working. I just observe. Be real, not fake. What's real anymore and what's fake? Nobody can give you fake or real. Like the only thing that's real these days is what? Name it. And we'll see who's real and who's fake, you know. You can't even name a real person anymore. They don't even have a real name. They don't have a real anything. There's nothing real anymore. There's only what seems. Mhm. So that's why you don't put stuff in categories. You know, there are shapeshifters too, like in the movie The X-Men. X-Men, they got them shapeshifters now. You put them shapeshifters out there, you don't know who, what's what, and it, you know. Y'all remember the movie X-Men when they made the shapeshifter this beautiful woman, and then she was like, you know, you see it clone. Is that a metaphor? No, it's a movie. Y'all never seen X-Men before? Um, anyway, you said you getting real money, yeah. But at the same time, everybody's getting real money. That's nothing new. I get real money every day. You get real money whenever you get real money. So everybody's getting real money. I told y'all I'm not answering none of these weird questions no more that are obvious. Mm-hmm. So, what? Anyway, these questions, yeah. Anyway, you want to visit mortuary videos? Those videos are old. I don't even know if they're still up. You can go look for them though. Videos was a long time ago, back in the days. Shoot, I done moved 3 times or 2 times. Mhm. You said if you feeling real good, cheat too. If like I said, why would it be called cheating if this was not a game? Why would it be called cheating if this was not a game? That's how you know it's a game. When if somebody do something, oh, you're cheating. Okay, well then I didn't know I was in a game, but okay, let the games begin. So that's how you know they give it away. Duh. Oh, it's a game. I'm not supposed to cheat, but I didn't know I was playing no game. Oh well, let me go figure this game out then. And usually I'm good at games, you know. So you put somebody in a situation, and you know they pretty smart. They gonna figure it out. They might even mess around and win. You don't know. They might. Y'all trying to find the museum? Yeah, there's several of them all across the U.S. You just Whichever one you're closest to, that's the one you should go to. You said men don't cheat. They sure don't. You can't cheat on a game you created because the whole point of the game is to conquer the other player. So you can't cheat because there are no rules for the men. But guess what? They messed up. Let me tell y'all why. Because in the game, once you get in the game and you're part of the game and you start to cheat, well, cheating has way more options or loopholes than the creator has created in the game. Because the creator is limited because the game is already written, right? But the cheat codes ain't written. The loopholes aren't written because they never had to write them. So the women wrote them in the whole game. So that's where y'all messed up. If you want to win a game, play it first on the opposite side. That's what they always mess up with, especially with the medicine. They want to put out a vaccine or a drug, and then they want to have some people line up and pay them to take a drug and see how it affects them in several ways. No, go get in line and take it yourself. First. Trying to tell you. Y'all playing on the wrong end of the game. That's why y'all can't never win it. But y'all too scared to come and play the game yourself that you invented. That's how you know. That's how you know. The game ain't yours. Okay. You can't create a game and expect to win it if you're not able to create as you play it. You've already written everything. They playing to lose. I know. That's why they're backwards. They're thinking it's too backwards and logical, and they don't really have, like, men don't have the capacity to create while they're in a situation. They have to calculate, plan, use statistics and numbers and guesses and guesstimations. And look, what? I don't know what that is, but this how it's gonna go. And yeah, don't hate the player, hate the game, baby. Become a player. But that's just how it always will be. And they also feel like if every time we do this to a woman, they're going to show us a loophole. Yeah, but that loophole, there's infinite numbers of loopholes. So no matter which ones they keep showing you, there's always going to be another one or two other ones and three other ones that you don't know about that trumps that one. So I think that's what it is. Okay. That's what it always has to be. So make sure you do what you got out of. Jump in the game, play the game, but don't jump in the game to get the loopholes. Jump in the game to experience the game and try to understand how the game is played from the correct point of view. Not the point of view that you're trying to beat it at, but the point of view in which you're trying to win because you have to, you don't have a choice. And when you can do that, you will no longer want to participate in the game. And you'll be thankful later on. You'll be like, oh, thanks, because I was tired of playing that game. Even though you don't realize it now, you'll be thankful later. Do you have something? Yeah, be smart, be creative, and be patient, and stop trying to win. And because, like, for women, it's not about winning at this point, it's about a survival. So it doesn't become about win, it becomes about survival, not winning. Men only care about winning. Women, their lives are mostly survival until they find a way to be comfortable in their, in their life. And then it's about comfort. It's not about winning. It's not about power. It's about comfort. But before comfort, you need to survive. Then you can get comfortable. You see the difference? Power, greed, winning, money, survival, stability, comfort. They're the same things, except one has to conquer the other one when this one can exist alone by itself. You know why this one can exist alone by itself? Because it doesn't have any threats. It doesn't have any enemies. Survival, comfort, stability, But on this side, on the masculine side, it's win, power, this, that, conquer. No, there's no enemies over here. It's basically, we got to do what we got to do because it's necessary. And once we get to that comfort zone, we're good. That's where we stay. That's where we want to be. That's where we're, and we're not trying to do extra. We're not trying to do all this. We don't have that itch to go out like, oh, I need some more power, or oh, I need something else. No, we good here. And the reason why we don't have that is because we don't need to conquer anything. And men, they still have this urge to conquer something. Conquer yourself. That's what you need to conquer, yourself. Conquer that need, that itch, that need to win, that need to conquer, that need to lie, that need to take from others. Conquer that and you win. But you don't really win because you've conquered that. What you do is you stay in your comfort zone, and that's where you like to be. You stay unbothered, basically. You just unbothered. Unbothered. See, unbothered is not the same as winning or being a dominant person in a position or being a dictator. Being unbothered means there's a difference. So women that are unbothered because men have lied to them and they had to go through what they had to go through, and now they're unbothered, and the men can't really do anything to phase that person as far as, getting them to take them back or, reason with them or talk to them or, whatever. That means the woman's unbothered. Leave her alone. That's where she's supposed to be. Unbothered. When you can get to that state yourself, that's when you have, quote unquote, in your terms, won. Okay, when you unbothered, you win. In masculine terms. In women's terms, you're unbothered. That means either way, you're good. All right. So I'm about to go. I'll see y'all on the next one. I told you I wasn't going to keep these long anymore because it's too hard to get the entire message if it's like 3-4 hours long. So I'm going to leave it here for you guys and let y'all ponder upon this message. All right. Bye, y'all. Sprinkle, sprinkle.